Welcome to Coffee with a Closer, where we're sitting down with top producers and industry leaders uncovering what they're doing to lead, grow, and serve at a high level. I'm your host, Michelle Garibay, and I'm a student of success. So I love learning from people who are doing things at a higher level. In this industry, there's a lot of talented professionals who are really making noise, and I thought, why not sit down with them, have a conversation, and lean in and see what they're doing that works. So funny enough, my guest today is not a real estate agent. I'm here today with Megan Kuiper. Megan, thank you for being here today.
Yes, I'm excited. Thanks for having me.
So Megan is a keynote speaker, and you actually did my keynote speech at my Top Producer Mastermind yesterday, and I think it was a great message for real estate agents. So I'd love if we could kind of just introduce yourself a little bit and tell us a little bit about what you do and what made you choose this type of career.
Yes, well, thanks for having me. And I am a high performance leadership coach and a keynote speaker and culture consultant. And I'm passionate about living a purposeful, intentional life, but personally and professionally. And I'm a leader, and I'm also passionate about amplifying leaders to be the very best they can be and lead with that purpose and intention.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. You know, one of the things that you spoke about yesterday was like the concept of a lighthouse. Can you tell us, like, what's a lighthouse?
Yes. Well, I think it's so important to, as a leader, to make sure we're staying really close to our connections and having meaningful connections, both personally and professionally. And oftentimes, when we are achieving and leading teams and driving for big results, sometimes we can put our connections on hold. And I believe having meaningful connections is the most important human need.
Yeah.
And so something I think that is so important to do to recalibrate is to get close to our lighthouses. And to me, lighthouses are people that light us up. They give us wisdom.
Yeah.
They give us this meaning in life so that when we are in their presence, we walk away feeling alive.
Yeah, I love that. Do you have a lighthouse?
Yes. So I love to talk about my parents. I grew up in a very can-do, big dreaming household. My parents are entrepreneurs and still have their own business 50 years later. And I grew up with all sisters. So all of us were really nurtured to be confident women that could take on whatever it is as it relates to our passions and our dreams.
Yeah.
And so to this day, it's so fun to get the text from my mom almost every single day telling me how proud she is of me. And it's the best reminder to keep me grounded and rooted in what's most important, which is my relationships. So yes,
I love
I'm very
that.
grateful. Yes.
You just have this energy about you that I think from the moment I met you, like there's a special energy, and people can notice that.
Thank you.
Right?
And you have to meet my mom someday. Maybe, I don't know if you've gotten to, but she has big energy too, so it's so fun how that's also like a learned behavior that I've been able to carry with me.
Yeah.
So,
We know where you got it from,
yes,
right?
Yes, thank you.
All right, so the concept of this podcast is really to help real estate agents and how they grow. And I know that you work with a lot of real estate agents,
Yes,
right? Coaching
yes.
them, mentoring them in a
And
way.
with their teams and helping amplify their leadership.
Yeah. So what are like some daily habits that you see that the most successful agents should maybe consistently practice?
Well, I think just really getting grounded in this question of how am I growing? And I think we only will grow the kind of business we want to have and lead the kind of teams we want to lead to success when we're growing ourselves. And truly that those things only grow as much as we do. And so as I've been helping different brokers and agents, it's really fun to see them start implementing some routines that ground them and growth. And so some quick things that they're doing are adopting journaling and making sure gratitude is part of their daily routine. They're starting to create boundaries around their work hours. And one thing that's been really neat is they're starting to empower these same teachings within their team so that everyone collectively as a team is working on themselves while they're growing the business.
Yeah, because, real estate can be a business where people are working nonstop. And sometimes for myself too, at being a mortgage lender, like you get calls on the weekends, people are trying to put in offers because weekends is when, people have off and they're out there doing shopping. So that being said, it's easy to kind of burn out in this industry.
Yes.
What are some early warning signs of burnout, and maybe how can we prevent it?
Yes, I would say I relate to burnout as it relates to my journey as a corporate director, not in the real estate space, but in a also high intensity kind of always on. I was in the retail industry, and retail is also always weekends are the busy times, and when I started to feel burnout, it was when I started to lose joy in a job that I'd always loved.
Yeah.
And I was losing joy in the day-to-day things that I didn't want to feel that way. And instead I started to have resentment for things I had to do. And what I really learned was that I wasn't listening to my inner voice of needing to say no to things at times. And I was allowing everyone else's agenda to become my own.
Yeah.
And I was becoming stretched so thin that I was really losing that joy and zest for life overall.
Yeah, that can be tough. So you talk a lot about energy, right? What do you believe success is more about? Is it time management or is it more energy management?
Well, I would say energy management, but I just think our energy is our own choice as an individual.
Yeah.
And when I put my feet on the floor every morning, I really think about what standard do I want to bring to the day. And I think about energy being a direct correlation to the impact we're making in the world.
Yeah.
And I know that seems very broad, but if I walk into any room, I want to leave a mark on every person I interacted with.
Yeah.
And I want them to feel more energized. And so I think I intentionally do things every day and I help my clients to grow their energy and understand what's best for them and what season of life they're in.
Right.
Sometimes for some people it's getting more movement in their days or taking more pit stops throughout the day to like regenerate energy throughout the day.
Yeah.
Because we're just like a power plant. We don't just have energy, we have to do things to generate it.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important to find what it is for you that will really help you be able to have that stamina to last all day long and make that big impact.
So I love watching your videos on
thank
social
you.
media.
Thank
And
you.
so what are some things that you do to get energy in the morning?
Well, I love movement and I'm not necessarily good at it, but I love to dance. And I love finding movement that incorporates fun music and dance. But I genuinely wake up, I read a Bible verse, and I press play on a workout video in my basement.
Okay.
And it's just the right energy I need to then walk upstairs and be a great mom and help pack lunches and then get my mind right for the day.
Right.
But yes, music and dancing. And I will say we did grow up dancing in the kitchen almost after every dinner.
Really?
I bet that's what every family did.
Aw.
And it's so fun that it's carried with us. And even though I don't live around my family,
Yeah.
that's something that we do every time we're together. And it's just so fun and builds so much good energy.
Yeah, I love hearing those stories. I'm an only child, so I never had like sisters or
Yes.
anything like that. So it's fun to kind of see that connection that you have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So in shifting markets in real estate, you see some agents that will thrive, and there's some agents that will struggle. What would you say about the difference in mindset of the two?
Well, a couple things come to mind, but I think the best leaders are resilient leaders. And to me, resiliency is seeing an obstacle and owning it, solving it, and becoming very solution oriented and seeing how we can adjust and bounce versus splatter. And so many people, when changes happen that are unforeseen, they splatter and it literally hits all areas of their life. It impacts their team and they fumble. But when someone bounces, they see the problem and they take that big initiative and they grow so quickly through the change and they always come out stronger on the other side.
Yeah. In your experience, what role do relationships play in building long-term success?
Wow. So it was so fun at the event yesterday, having that topic continue to resurface about the importance of, in the real estate industry, having nurturing really good relationships. But I just think when we, especially in business, when we see people as people and do good because we want to make an impact and serve them and overserve them,
Right.
that requires really authentic, genuine relationships. And when that is our number one priority, I feel like people want to do business with people that nurture great relationships. And it's fun, even what I do with coaching, it's so special. But once I start coaching with a client or a company, they don't leave me. I feel like they stick with me because they see the joy and the strategy that growth is bringing to their days and my encouragement and my accountability to help them. And so, but a lot of it is so relationship based.
Yeah.
And I feel like that will continue to help me be successful too, even in what I do, because relationships, I think, make us feel alive and connected and happy.
Yeah, and yesterday you talked about even your personal relationships, right? So you mentioned that you and your husband do like a date night once a week, right?
Yes.
Are there any other like rituals you do in your family life to keep the relationship strong, like with your husband or your children?
Yes. One thing that I've been talking a lot lately, and I didn't get to yesterday, but I've really been talking about the importance of having distraction-free moments.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like we can be dialed in 24/7 on our phones, have laptops open,
Yeah.
have the TV going. I have all these boys and we love sports. I mean, it's like March Madness time.
Yes.
But when we eat family dinner, we have no distractions. Well, if they're listening, they're going to say, well, we're allowed to watch some games if it's like the teams they cheer for.
Right.
But I think it's so important when Nate and I have our date nights, I leave my phone in the car.
Good.
And it is amazing how in a 2 hour dinner, how quality the conversation is and how strong the connection is when we're not distracted. And more recently, I started on Sundays turning my phone off for 24 hours.
Really?
Yeah, and it turns out I'm not that important because nothing urgent has happened in those 24 hours. If
Okay.
anyone's needed me, which might sound like cardiac arrest for a realtor.
Yeah.
But maybe it starts with just turning it off for 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
And the growth and connection in our household and the time I'm getting back in my day from turning it off.
Right.
Now I'm thinking, how can I do this more or in different ways
Right.
to have our connections be that much more present
Right.
and intentional? So those are some of the things we're doing in our household to grow our relationships.
Yeah, no, I love that. I hear what you say about good distractions because sometimes I like to listen to podcasts and I'll be maybe just have a podcast on and I'm working and I find myself, well, when I'm doing that, I'm really not zoned in,
Yes.
right? So I just kind of have to turn everything off and just focus and
Yes.
do that one task that you're trying to
Yes.
do, right?
It's true. I love music, but I can't create and have like Luke Combs on the side and not want to scream out the words to his songs. So yeah, and then also I think one thing I've also done for me personally is when I do my runs or walks outside,
Okay.
I've started not having anything in my ears. It's just nature and my feet hitting the pavement. And it's so fun, the amount of creative juices that start flowing in my head because we're always taking things in and having input, but actually breaking free from that. It's amazing all the creative juices that start flowing and ideas I have for my clients and our family. So I also encourage that.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Like I like to get outside and take a walk and sometimes like when you have like nothing, right? You're just listening to whatever is going on in nature. That's when that idea pops into your
Yes.
head, right? So you kind of like, I sometimes I'll set a goal, like I want to do something and then I'll notice like when I have that quiet time, that's when the ideas, well, this is how this could work, pop into
Yes.
my head.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I love
yes,
that. So for team leaders, like real estate team leaders that are listening, what is the biggest mistake that leaders make when they're trying to motivate their teams?
I think the biggest mistake is when they miss the opportunity to truly get to know what motivates their team.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is oftentimes as leaders, and when I led big teams in my corporate role, I would do the same kind of recognition for them all. But when I actually got to know them as individual people,
Yeah.
some people like public, recognition. Some people really appreciated me saying, "Doesn't your daughter have a play right now? Why don't you get out of here at noon today?" And they looked at me like, "What?"
Yeah.
And just those little acts of kindness that were
Yeah.
personalized to them will make your team never want to leave you, and they will feel so appreciated and motivated to do whatever you need in return. But I would say individualizing things to motivate them for what they actually like is really, really important.
You do coaching, right? So
Yes.
you do one-on-one coaching. Sometimes you do group coaching.
Yes.
If someone works with you or learns from you or attends maybe one of your events, what do you hope that they walk away with feeling?
Sure. Well, it's been so fun. Each person, it's really, really individualized. But oftentimes when someone comes to me, they haven't dreamt in a while. They haven't really considered what their dreams are.
Yeah.
And it's so fun as we work together to help them find clarity on what that is. And so one of the biggest things that they walk away with is that they're actually living their dream and helping them see it and honor that or getting closer to it. And so some examples are, I have an executive I'm working with and she's a phenomenal photographer, but she's an executive in the insurance industry and doesn't want to leave that. But it's been really neat. She started an LLC and is starting to create opportunities to serve in the photography space so that when she is ready to retire, she has this passion that she's gonna, it's gonna be waiting for her to lean into and nurture. And why that's special is because I have helped her create routines to not be going full tilt 24/7 and to actually have time to, create a plan and get new photography equipment. And so that's an example. I have clients that have written books.
Okay.
And they're doing all this all alongside raising a family and leading their business. But it's really special because it's energizing those relationships. It's energizing their everyday jobs again.
Yeah.
Because they have this other passion they're working on, and it's providing all this extra energy.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
in general, I would just say everyone's relationships soar. I'm talking romance. I'm talking like their relationship with their kids, because they're finally slowing down
Yeah.
and being present and realizing that the little moments are actually the big moments.
All right, Megan, well, I got you a little party gift. It's
Thank
nothing special,
you.
but it's just a little something to say thank you. I really do
you.
appreciate your time here today.
Yes.
We had a great conversation. I love the reminder that success isn't just about production numbers. It's about creating a life that we actually are excited to live. So thank you again for your time today. And if somebody wants to get to know you or wants to learn more about coaching that you provide, how would they get in touch with you?
Awesome. You can get in touch with me on any of my socials. It's my name, Megan Kuiper. And you can go to my website, which is Megan-Kuiper, and you'll see all my offerings as it relates to consulting, coaching, and speaking too.
And for everyone listening today, thank you for joining us on this episode of Coffee with a Closer. I hope you picked up at least one idea that you can implement into your business today. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can reach me at www.michellegetitdone.com.